Unbelievable! Meghan's great conspiracy revealed. Charles paid for Harry's mansion.
Shock. Charles admits to paying for the mansion in Montecito for Harry. Conspiracy to appropriate Meghan's assets exposed. So, according to a recent report, apparently Prince Charles has given Harry a bunch of money to buy his 16 bathrooms mansion in Montecito. And this is information that's actually been confirmed by Buckingham Palace. So as it turns out, Harry and Meghan's whining about how poor they are is not quite truthful. They tried to deceive the entire world by making themselves look like victims after they left the UK, one viewer commented. Harry opened his mouth to blame his father for cutting finances. Look, he helped him pay off the bank loan without his thanks. Harry is truly an unfilial son of the royal family. Charles should have let him starve in America with his wife and young children. It's shameful. So when this information was revealed, there were many people wondering if Charles was going to give Harry and Meghan the money on his own. Will these traitors ever give back the money that Charles gave to help them? At the end of the day, a father is a father, and it proves that Harry doesn't have so much to complain about anyway. I mean, really, Harry and Meghan should be thanking the royal family because they were responsible for them being able to live, eat, drink and sleep so well. They've all got their private homes. And that's why I cannot understand why Meghan complained so much. She was never living with the Queen, even though she makes it seem like she was. When Meghan and Harry were working royals, of course, they were expected to follow the rules, but they tried to make it sound like they were living in some kind of hell. Of course, the main job of the senior royals is to serve and assist the Queen, but that's something that Meghan did not seem to be able to understand. So when royal family members are invited to go to an event, the people who invite them don't want to see any sloppy royals? Of course not. That's just how it goes. So if we look back, it's pretty easy to see that Meghan never really wanted to fit in. She had her own agenda from the very beginning, and she threw away the biggest and the most amazing platform she could have ever hoped for. So how did Meghan actually achieve this? Stepping away from the royal family? At the time, Harry was very popular and he was a beloved member of the family. So how did Meghan convince him to walk away like that? Well, I'll tell you how she used the oldest trick in the Narcissist book. Meghan did a lot of gaslighting to force Harry to question what was real and what wasn't, and that's why he is still so obsessed with his mother, also known as Meghan's hero. Now, Meghan doesn't have anywhere near the charisma that Diana had, and Diana certainly did not cause all of the problems that Meghan and Harry have. It's a huge red flag that Meghan wants to divide people, and she doesn't want to bring people together the very moment that Meghan started to attack the royal family. As a novice with no understanding whatsoever of the Queen as well as the Westminster system of government at that very moment, she divided people into who was for her and who was against her. Now, as an American, let me be the first to say that I know many of my fellow Americans simply do not understand that the royal family is actually a living link to history. It's not like the family's made up of some kind of egocentric presidents who were gonna jump up and down about their foray. Your legacy, not at all. And, that's what makes the royal family so special. So Camilla and Charles, they have proven that they're sincere, and we know that the Queen's legacy is absolutely secure. And now, Meghan, she's not just like some grandma. She's actually been head of state for an amazing 70 years, and unlike the US, the UK clearly does not avoid having women in a powerful position. Maybe somebody can explain to Meghan what ageism means. It seems like her woke dictionary left that one out. See, the Queen is absolutely nobody's fool. So anyway, Meghan's fans try to say that Meghan really is a millionaire in her own right. I am not buying it. It sounds to me like Harry's daddy paid for their home. Harry doesn't have any understanding of how he can be independent, and why would he as a member of the royal family? So what has Meghan actually brought to the marriage other than excommunication as she stands up there trying to talk to us about unity? Meghan truly is a mixed-up cookie, and she needs someone to help her. And I don't really understand why anyone is trying to protect the two of them. See, if we were living in earlier times, I think the two of them would have been charged with treason already, and they would have been thrown in the tower, probably had their heads chopped off. And I've got to say that so many of us out there having to hear and see these two on a daily basis. Not by choice, of course, but the media seems to always trust them in our faces anyway. People like us just cannot understand why nobody does anything to stop them. And sadly, it looks like the Queen's health is declining. I really feel like Meg and her puppet have contributed to this whole state of affairs. They are so evil. You know what? They, more than anybody in this world, probably deserve the tower. Maybe the royal family is just waiting for karma to step in, or maybe they're intimidated by a Z-list actress. Maybe Harry has just told her way too much and she showed him that her foot did indeed fit in that glass slipper, and so of course he had no choice but to make her his wife. At the end of the day, I don't really care about the reason behind it. Maybe Meghan should just go back to her old job. I guess she wouldn't have to rely on her father-in-law's money anymore, right? I could just imagine the questions, though. I think people would want to ask, why did Harry marry her? What kind of tricks does Meghan have up her sleeve that have enabled her to hold a monarchy in her grasp? Eventually, I'm sure that we will find out, and I just really hope though that somehow the Queen can find peace and tranquility in her last days. I wish there were some way to guarantee that, but of course there's not. But anyway, I do think it's time for the citizens of the UK to get together and to tell Meghan to please never return to their country again, to tell her exactly how much people despise her and why. Harry, of course, has never had to worry about taking out a loan to buy a car, let alone a $14 million McMansion in a prestigious neighborhood, plus having to pay for staff and having to pay for maintenance. I think, though, this Sussex fiasco is going to come to an end soon. People are simply tired of them. They show their whiny sense of entitlement with no filters all the time. They are ungrateful, they are vitriolic, they are spiteful. So, if Harry and Meghan want to play this game of just burn it all down, alright, fine, let's do it. The only good thing about all of this is how Harry and Meghan's nasty behavior demonstrates the stark contrast with the true royals. Every single time they speak, they're only hurting themselves. By the time they understand that this bridge is already going to have been burned to ashes, the Queen is going to be gone, and nobody's going to want anything to do with them. We're already seeing that come to fruition. I even read they're not going to visit the Queen of Balmoral while they travel to the UK. And this tells us that the Queen is done with the two of them. She probably regrets inviting them to the Jubilee. So please tell me, what do you think about Charles offering to pay for Harry and Meghan's mansion in the US? Is this a big mistake from the future monarch? Please let us know your thoughts below in the comments section. We hope you have found this video helpful. And don't forget to leave us a like, share and follow to the page.